our solidarity. What were the lessons learnt in the Western Union naval exercises? A report will be published presently, but it's safe to say that most of the purely naval lessons were already well understood by those who direct our defence policy, as, for example, the vulnerability of big ships to aircraft attack in narrow seas. Importance has now shifted, in fact, from big battleships such as the Anson, who was the only one of her class in the manoeuvres, to aircraft carriers. Here's the Implacable. One of 4 carriers was steamed into the Bay of Biscay. On board Implacable, the Supreme Chief of Western Union Defence, Lord Montgomery, was naturally something more than an interested guest of the Commander-in-Chief, Admiral McGrigor. In his very responsible position, Monty must know at first hand what sea power can or cannot achieve. He made a thorough study of the aircraft carrier and adapted himself to the confined space in which a sailor must live and have his being. Aircraft take off from Implacable for one of the many exercises which comprise the 4 days at sea. Implacable was the flagship of Blue Force, and the Sea Hornet's job, together with the Firebrands, was to ward off the attack of aircraft from White Force. Admiral McGrigor was not only the C&C of Blue Force, he was overall commander of the exercises, so at one stage he transferred by helicopter to White Force to confer with the commander of the opposing fleet. Now the Admiral's helicopter comes to rest safely on the deck of Theseus. This picture shows you the activity aboard the carrier, with Furies and Fireflies coming up to the flight deck and then taking off for the attack. Some of these squadrons, by the way, are Dutch, based on Theseus for the exercises. Cooperation of different nationalities in the air is no new thing, at least not in the Royal Air Force, and no doubt the same code of understanding applies to the Fleet Air Arm. The orders are to go in for the attack, and the planes skim the waves in a mock torpedo assault. This sort of thing went on continually in the bright, clear sunshine during the 4 days. Sometimes the planes were attacking, sometimes defending, sometimes spotting for subs, but always alert and ready for the next job. Needless to say, Monty made it his business to talk to the pilots, British, Dutch and French, and get their impressions. So, with the ships turning for northern waters again, the combined fleet began the final stage of the exercises. They ran into a dummy minefield, the mines emitting a white smoke when encountered. Observers reported that the aircraft, subs and MTBs may have caused considerable casualties, but since the orders were that no evasive action should be taken, it's probable that the estimates of ships sunk could be reduced in practice. In any case, the real lesson of the exercises was one of communications, how ships of different nationalities may combine together and retain efficiency despite differences in language, equipment and training. As the Commander-in-Chief said, "Now we can go out again with great confidence. Previously we went out only with great hope."